Hi, I'm Jason Sterling, and this is an RM Cascadian travel vlog. This time, Amtrak to Fort Worth, Texas. Okay, so it's the morning of our second day in Fort Worth, and as I said yesterday, the hotel was great. The hotel was I really enjoyed it. It's the Fairfield Inn and Suites in Fort Worth, and it was totally clean, very nice, very modern, very crisp. Had a great breakfast area. My son and I had a great breakfast. I'm going to throw a quick picture here of my breakfast, which was cereal. As you can see, they had other stuff. They had eggs and bacon and some stuff like that. But I never keep cereal at home because if I have a box of cereal, I'll eat the entire thing. When I get home from work, I'll just pour one bowl after another and just gobble it up. So I never keep cereal at home, but I do love cereal. So when I'm on vacation, a lot of times I'll have cereal at breakfast. And I did in this case. I had Frosted Flakes, as you can see. Went full kid mode and had Frosted Flakes. After that, we are going to go in this episode to the Fort Worth Botanical Gardens and the Modern Art Museum of Fort Worth, I think is its technical title. That was a change of plans. Originally, I was going to have a stay downtown, and we were going to have lunch downtown in a restaurant called Bird and Branch, as I recall. And it's like on the 12th floor of an office building, has a great outdoor deck. I mean, it looks great. It looks great in the pictures. I thought, that'll be so cool. That'll be a really cool novelty. We'll do stuff downtown. At the end of the day, though, I did shift gears on that and decided to go to the Botanical Gardens in the morning. It was going to be a cool enough morning. And my son has always liked the Botanical Gardens. We have a very small botanical garden in Oklahoma City downtown. He's always enjoyed that. So I thought, hey, let's go check this out. This is a really big one in Fort Worth. 120 acres. That's huge. I mean, it's a huge amount of space. So I thought, hey, let's just go ahead and switch gears, not stay downtown for the morning. We'd pretty much seen downtown the day before. There was a small museum downtown, or maybe the county capitol we could have explored more. But I did want to get us a little bit away from downtown. The cultural district where the Botanical Gardens and the Kimball Museum and the Modern Art Museum are all located within a 15-minute walk of each other. And in fact, those two museums are across the street from each other. So it's a great area to go spend some time and spend the day. We Ubered it. We Ubered from downtown over to the Botanical Gardens. Now, I mentioned in my video yesterday that you could walk it. You could walk it. It's about 2.5 miles, though. I'm going to flash a little thing here on the screen that I took. It's about 2.5 miles from downtown to the cultural district. So it is kind of downtown adjacent. I can walk that probably in about 30 to 40 minutes, I would say. I think this shows maybe close to an hour. But if you're totally into walking and it's a beautiful day, you're going to pass along a lot of different parks along the way. There might be a lot to see. Maybe walk it there and Uber back or something like that. You could walk more easily from the Botanical Gardens to the Modern Art Museum or the Kimball Museum. Again, I'll show this graphic here, this kind of picture I took of the route. And you can see that, it's about I think it says 20 minutes. I think it'd be about a 15-minute walk, maybe. We did not walk it. After the Botanical Gardens, we Ubered again to the Modern Art Museum because it was so hot by that point. We were at the Botanical Gardens till about 1 o'clock, maybe even a little bit later. We had lunch there. You'll see coming up. We had lunch there, and by that point, it was about 90 degrees outside, and I didn't want to show up at the museum really hot and sweaty. Basically is what it came down to. I didn't want to show up there and be sweating and, whatever, right? Looking like I've been gardening all day, so we did Uber in both cases. The Uber was quick. It's about maybe a 8 to 10 minute Uber ride from downtown to the Botanical Gardens, and I want to say maybe it was 3 minutes or something from the gardens to the museum. In all my cases, the Uber ride from downtown to the Botanical Gardens, the Uber ride from the gardens to the Modern Art Museum, and then from that point back to downtown, $7 each time, essentially. I don't remember, it's $7 and some change each time, essentially. So, about $21 in Uber fares. Now, I did tip in each case. It came close to probably $30 all told, because I think I basically paid $10 per trip. So it's about $30 all told. I didn't bring a car. I would have spent $30 for one night's parking. So it kind of came out in the wash as far as I'm concerned. I think it was a really great deal to take Amtrak and skip taking my car. That's what that comes down to. Now, I did a 2-minute post for Facebook for the Botanical Gardens. I'll put that in coming up right now.
Hi, I'm Jason Sterling, and my son and I are here at the beautiful Fort Worth Botanical Gardens. This is just some of the scene here. We just got him having lunch in that building right there behind us. It was pretty good. I'll post some pictures of lunches from lots of different areas on this trip. Right now we have gone, I'll post some pictures of this particular park as well. It's really pretty. Now behind me is kind of the entrance to the Rose Garden area. Get my face out of it as much. Let's see here. Look, I'm some shots there. I'll post some still pictures though as well, so you can get some real look at it.
We ran out of food.
There's also a beautiful Japanese garden area. That's actually my favorite, and we will post still shots of that as well. And that's my son down there on the ground. He's tired out. Are you exhausted? Have I walked you to death yet?
No, I'm just full.
He is just full.
I guarantee.
Did you like the burger?
Fish or
He had a burger. I had chicken, like lettuce wraps. They were really good. Actually, I think they might be pretty much the best thing I've eaten so far on this trip were those chicken lettuce wraps. And I have walked him to death though.
burger was down. Burger was down.
The burger was okay. The burger was just okay. Did you like it? Did you like your burger you had yesterday? No, you had a Reuben yesterday. Didn't you? Did you like that?
I like that better.
You like the Reuben better. You'll see a picture of Reuben coming up. We haven't really had a lot of really spectacular food. We've just kind of eaten lunchy type stuff. But what's next? Museum of Modern Art.
Yeah.
Museum of Modern Art's next. We're going to go out front, try to lure an Uber over to the Museum of Modern Art. And then later, back downtown. So, are we ready? Now we're going to go back home. Yeah, we're going to head back home. So, depressingly, you wish we had more time?
Kind of, but
I kind of do too.
There was like nothing really like
Hurry, I only got 2 minutes
interesting in my mind.
left to do.
Yeah.
There's stuff he doesn't know about. There's a whole bunch to do actually here. I'll go through that when I do a real YouTube video. But yeah, we could use more time. Anyway, that's 2 minutes. Talk to you later. Bye.
Okay, so that was my 2 minutes there. Now, there's a lot more to see of the Botanical Gardens, and we're going to go through some pictures here and a little bit of video I took. As I said, it's 120 acres. It's really substantial. And I would say their Japanese garden was just fantastic. I really enjoyed it. I'd go back just to walk through there again. So peaceful, so calming. My son really enjoyed it. We fed the fish. I only bought 1 bag of food. I should have bought 3 bags of food. I guess they only sell it, at the check-in desk where you buy your tickets. And I thought, no, 1 bag will be enough. I got the big bag. I did get the big bag. I thought 1 bag will be enough. We'll grab this big bag. There's no place else really to buy it. Maybe the gift shop there sometimes sells it, but the gift shop was closed. So it's probably not open all the times, maybe just on the weekends. They're in the Japanese garden portion of the Botanical Gardens. I'm going to show some pictures here, though. As you can see, just really beautiful. So well done. So well done. You definitely don't feel like you're in the middle of Fort Worth, Texas. It does feel very Japanese influenced. So I highly recommend it. I'm going to show a couple of pictures here. Like, this is the restrooms. So, very hidden and very in theming with the rest of the area. Right here, too, I'm going to show is the garbage can. That's the garbage can. So again, it looks like it belongs there. It's not just a typical commercial garbage can, just, oh, here's someplace to put your garbage. I'm glad they had one. I needed someplace to throw away the little bag, and stuff from the fish feeding. But the way they integrated that was very, very nice. This particular setup of Botanical Gardens also has like some rose gardens, another koi pond over by the rose gardens. There's a large lawn. There's this art installation. I'll show some pictures here of the art installation. Super cool. I love this. I don't know if it's always there or if this is temporary, because it had kind of a temporary sign by it. But if it's still there, take a look at it. It's really, really awesome. So I highly recommend the Botanical Gardens. Definitely go give it a look. We had lunch there. We had lunch at a little cafe there. The cafe was, it was not bad. I'm going to say, because my son got a burger, and the burger struck me as very much a sort of typical, like the zoo, when we go to the zoo in Oklahoma City or that sort of place. Very sort of typical food service type of burger. But I got these chicken lettuce wraps. It was the best thing I ate during the trip. I mean, except for the ice cream. Ice cream's always best. But aside from the ice cream, these were really good. And I don't know, what can I say? You're looking at the picture. Super simple. It was salsa and chips, but the chicken was prepared well, or thawed out and reheated well. I don't know which. Had a nice sauce on it, and I guess maybe because it was so simple, just hard to screw up. I don't know, but I really enjoyed it. It was good. I recommend it. My son said the burger, as you saw in the video, was okay. The burger was okay. What can I say? I thought it was on par with other things we've gotten in those sort of places. I would stop there. The interior was okay, but it had a nice, if it was a little bit cooler, it had a nice sort of outdoor eating deck. So that's a great place to stop. I'll show you, that's most of our food, breakfast and lunch. We also, later in the day though, we went to, afterwards, I'll throw it in here with food, after everything, before we went to the train, we went to the Nestle Cafe in downtown Fort Worth, in Sundance Square. And it was a lot of fun. It was really, really good. Naturally, oh my gosh, I wanted to eat one of everything. We did restrain ourselves. I got the brownie. My son got this sort of kind of like a whoopie pie, kind of, but it's out of cookies. Oh my God, it was so good. It was so good. We probably could have, like I said, eaten everything there. So if you're in Fort Worth, now I wanted to go, let me preface this. My first plan had been to go to a local bakery. I think called the bakery on the corner. It was closed. It closed at 3 o'clock. So we didn't get to go there because I was going to try a more local type of place. There was also a donut place right next to the Nestle Cafe. It too closed at 3 o'clock. So maybe one of the pitfalls of being downtown during the week, especially, maybe on the weekends, it might stay open later. But I did want to try the donuts. It looked like they might have a couple left because it was $2.55. So I thought, well, maybe we could catch that place. The other one was closed already. Maybe we could catch that place. But I kind of thought, those donuts were probably cooked this morning and have been sitting there all day. And I don't know. We didn't risk it. We went to the Nestle Cafe. Long story short. But before that, we went to the Fort Worth Modern Art Museum. And it is excellent, let me tell you. My son had never been to a modern art museum. So far, I've taken him to tons of museums. We've been to a lot of museums. We've got a great museum, great small museum in Oklahoma City, in fact, an art museum. If you're ever in Oklahoma City, it is a great museum. Quick, I'm going to do a video sometime of that place. I'm going to include that. But it's quick to go through. Just a couple of hours. Got a nice cafe in the lobby. Great to eat at. And it's really, really, really nice. So stop by there. But this place was fantastic. It was spectacular. And this is what I love about modern art museums. It's not just the art in the interior, but typically, from my experience, modern art museums incorporate the structure as part of the art. The structure itself is as much the art as the art within it. And often, this is a good example here. It's a book with wings, right? Now, you can read a lot into it, and it does stimulate a lot of thought. But when you put it in that oval room, and it's got light on one side and dark on the other, and it looks as though the room itself, the building around it was constructed for this piece of art. And the art becomes not just that book with wings, but the entire, everything around it, the entire structure. And often with modern art, that's what you're going to see. With traditional art, classic art, antiquities, if you go to the Louvre or where have you, it is a box with paintings on the wall, or a box with structures, with statuary on the wall. Now, I love those museums, been to a ton of them. I love art. But, the structure isn't so much a part of each individual art piece as I think it is a lot of times with modern art museums. And not just with the art, but you can see a few shots here. I'll put a few shots in here. This is the building itself. The building itself is such a statement and such a piece of art. And the stairs look like art, and the hallways look like art. And this is a good example, though. I'm going to throw this in because it pops into my head. This is a piece of art in a little room. Now, you don't even know that it's there. When you're going to the bathroom, there's a little hallway that branches off of the sort of ant room to the public restrooms, the antecorridor. And you can't see that there's anything down that little corridor. It could just be an empty room. It could just be nothing. It's not connected to the rest of the galleries. But if you go in there, you're going to see this, right? And my first thought, walking around the corner and coming upon that, because I'm going to walk down there. I'm like, I wonder what's down here. I'm thinking maybe it's just a janitorial closet. Maybe it's nothing. I don't know. Maybe I'll get in trouble. I don't know. I don't care. There's no sign that says you can't go. So I walked back there, and it's like you're walking into like a sarcophagus room, because it has that feeling of a sarcophagus, and it's hidden, and it's a little mysterious walking back there, and you turn the corner, and there it is. That's a good example. I don't know that it was built for that room. I don't know if that room was built for it, but it has the feeling in modern art museums that it was. That when they set out to build this museum, they had certain works of art. Like, we need to make sure we build a place that suits the piece of art and complements it and becomes a piece of the art. So that's kind of my feeling on modern art museums, my kind of TED talk on it, I guess. And a lot of times in modern art museums, you'll enter a room and it's a room with one piece of art in it, which is that's a lot more rare with traditional art and antiquities, that you walk into a room and it's that one piece, there's just one piece of art in there, or one piece of statuary or something like that. So that was a really great example. I loved that museum. Again, it's one that I would go back and look at all over again, not just for a special exhibit, but I'd really love to go back and see it again. And I wanted to, God bless, this is going to be the story of my life with food with this trip. We were going to eat at the cafe there, and even though we'd had lunch already, I thought, well, hey, maybe we'll get a table and we'll order dessert there. It closed at 2:30. It closed at 2:30. They shut down, and then they reopened for a dinner later. So we missed it there too, but they have a really cool-looking restaurant there, a really cool-looking cafe for that particular museum as well. Great view out over the water there. And I would recommend it without having eaten anything. Go check it out just for the ambiance. Now, after that museum, we did head back downtown, went to the Nestle Cafe, as I said. We looked around for something to have for dinner on the train to take with us. Now, a lot of places are closed. 3 o'clock during the week, during the day in downtown Fort Worth, that's closing time. It's like Europe. I remember I went to Europe once and I told a bunch of people we were with, I was like, listen, we've got to get upstairs to our hotel, just drop our bags, go get something to eat. Everything's going to close at 2. We're going to miss lunch. And it's not going to reopen till like 7, maybe a little earlier than 7, but it's not going to open till 7. Got to get some food. And they're like, yeah. And they go upstairs. I don't see them again. Anyway, they get back down there like 5 till 2. I'm like, it's too late. We missed it. Well, the same thing's true. And that was true. We missed it. There's a story there I'll throw in someday, but we missed it. So, same thing's true of Fort Worth. Don't miss it. Everything closes at 3. Just plan on it closing at 3 and not reopening until the evening. A lot of places did reopen in the evening, but we weren't going to be there. So, what we ended up doing, and this is almost a tradition now. I'm going to just call it a tradition. I'm going to make it a tradition. We got something to eat at the Subway sandwich shop at the Amtrak train station there in Fort Worth. I've done that every time I've gone through Fort Worth on the train, because usually I'm changing trains. So it's been really quick and convenient to run to that place, grab some food for the next train. That's what I did this time. We did. I didn't think I even took a picture of it. It was a sandwich. Spoiler alert. It was a sandwich and some chips and some cookies, and we got drinks at the cafe on the train again. And we took the train home, and it was wonderful. It was wonderfully relaxing again. Great way to end the trip. We watched a movie. We watched some of the scenery go by. We watched a movie together. We ate dinner. We had a wonderful time. The Amtrak train is a great way to travel. It is. It's slower. It's part of the journey. The journey's part of the vacation. I really like to think of it as a cruise on land. The closest I've ever really come to that would be like going to Chicago. But I've made plans to do Amtrak as a cruise on land, and someday I'm going to follow through with those. Someday, when I've got the time. But I do kind of think of it almost as like a cruise ship on land, and if you're traveling coach, it's really cheap. It really is. Now, a bedroom's a little more expensive, and the roomettes are a little more expensive. Those do include meals, though. Those include dinner and breakfast and lunch and what have you. And if you count it as transportation and a night's hotel, and however many meals are included, it's really not as expensive as it sounds. Maybe when you first look it up, you get that little sticker shock. Like, oh my God, how much? And it's a lot of fun. My son loved it. He's spoken recently about wanting to do another overnight Amtrak trip. And like I said, I've got some ideas in my head, and definitely am looking forward to that maybe for the future. In the meantime, this was an excellent trip. We had such a good time. I highly recommend it. If you are on an Amtrak line, especially if you live in Oklahoma, but if you're on an Amtrak line and you want to go to Fort Worth, do it. And if you're not on an Amtrak line, drive there or fly there. If you're flying to Dallas, you're thinking, we're going to go see Dallas because Dallas is the big D. Dallas is what everyone thinks of in the DFW area. Dallas is great. Dallas is great. Dallas has a lot to it, a lot to see. Don't forget Fort Worth. I've forgotten it for too many years and too many decades now. To me, Fort Worth is always just like Dallas's little cowtown brother. Little cowtown brother off to the west. Nothing. There's some cows there, maybe some oil there. That's it. No, it's fantastic. It's one of the best downtowns I've ever been in. Completely walkable, very friendly, well kept, well taken care of. It's the cultural district adjacent, an 8-minute Uber ride, Stockyards. Another place to go. We didn't get to do it this time. It's a reason to go back for us. Stockyards, I should have put on a third day. I didn't realize really it was going to be as good as it was. I should have put on a third day. The Stockyards also about an 8 to 10-minute Uber ride, just a different direction from downtown. It's a really cool place to go, kind of a more Western sort of feel. We've got Stockyards in Oklahoma City too. It's kind of the same thing as OKC's, but bigger. So definitely go check out Fort Worth. Stay at the Fairfield Inn and Suites if you want. I recommend it. I did like it. It was a nice hotel. But there's a lot of hotels downtown. Check them out. And in the meantime, thank you for watching. Please hit like, subscribe, and notify. If you enjoyed this, there'll be more to come. And we'll see you later.